Hi, I'm Tommy.
Hi, I'm Nemanja. Welcome to Cloud Couch.
It's where we discuss cloud topics from a couch perspective.
Not so comfortable couch. Hi, and welcome to a new episode of Cloud Couch. In this one, we're gonna start with a bit high-level topic, but actually you will see that it quickly goes in a very deep discussion. So it is about why cloud. So why should you consider going to cloud at all? What do you think about it, Tommy?
Yeah, it's a big topic, very important question, and obviously we know the answer. So
Do we?
yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it's not something that's
Binary, yes.
nothing is 100%. Basically, there are no silver bullets. Everybody knows that or should know that. But there are very strong arguments that we want to bring forward and discuss to understand really what cloud is about. Like if you're thinking about your IT and building a project and doing anything in software today, you need to understand cloud and the benefits there. So that's really what we want to start with here to get like the bird's eye view on many other episodes that will nicely fit into this family here.
So what would you, let's say, what would be your number one driver for companies to think about cloud?
Yeah, that's really nailed it. Basically, that's the most important
Start
thing.
immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a very strong opinion here how I see it, and it's really about basically becoming very agile. Agile is a word that's been misused a long time, but it's so important because it means that you are minimizing basically unnecessary work that you have, and you are transforming yourself as a company, as a business, or just as your technology organization into a state where you can adapt to changes very rapidly and also
Deliver faster.
Yeah, you can deliver faster. You also have other benefits that we will dive into, but it's really about speed of execution, which is getting increasingly important today because the market is global, competition is global, and you need to be able to adapt to changes of your clients, your users, your competitors, and other changes in the landscape. And that's really number one that we're...
So you would say it would be like a business agility.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's that's what it's about. Your business can be on top of the game and can innovate and change as it needs very quickly. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
What do you think? or how have you seen that in your...
Yeah, I would say I agree. That's a great driver. Maybe the next one I would address would be security.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
security really went like a long way from, I would say, one extreme to another. Like I don't know, many years ago it was like cloud is not secure at all, to now cloud is super secure. Like both are not correct, right? There is a lot of work to be done in that area. Where I think a good driver for cloud adoption is, and that is the cloud, let's say, provides you some tools that you don't have on premise. And these tools are additional security controls that make your environment way more secure than you could ever have it on premise. I like to use one anecdote, if I can, about a guy who is going from home to work on a motorbike. And like every morning he would, if you drive a motorbike, you would put a helmet on, you would put a leather jacket on, your gloves, pants and all of that, and then you will head to work. And you've been doing that for 40 years. So imagine that is a work of a security person on premise, right? So those are his tools. That's what he is used to be doing, and he has been doing that for a long time. Now you come to that same guy and you give him a car. Let's say you give him Tesla and say, take this car and go from home to work.
Safest car in the world.
Safest car in the world. What he would do, he would probably put a helmet on, a leather jacket on, he would put gloves, and he would sit in Tesla and drive to work, or maybe Tesla would drive him to work.
Most likely.
Most
yes.
likely.
Safely.
So that is the thing. There are so many new security controls that you didn't have before, and that you're not even aware that they exist. We can talk about, let's say, in the case of AWS cloud, we can talk about at least 30 different services that are at your disposal to fully secure your environment. And for me, that should be a big driver and the answer to why cloud. If nothing else, it is for me like big area would be security.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully agree there. And I would also, add to that excellent explanation and also anecdote about how to think about it. I think, like, as we also know, there is this shared responsibility principle, and all what you say, like, we can, add to the story there. Sitting in the safest car that has, let's say, even full self-driving and drives you securely, safely to work and home, you don't probably need your homemade, security, tooling anymore, because you have things that are much more powerful, made by people who only focus on that thing. So you can focus on other things. So just to kind of understand, what does it mean when you're in cloud? Well, you have all these services, and they are part of the baseline, first of all, that the cloud provider is providing to you as the baseline that they are responsible for and need to provide. And they have the best people in the world working on that. And then you are responsible for your parts, but not everything. Yeah. And obviously you shouldn't be, double working, like in this case in the Tesla, that you do the same things just because. And
you're used to.
And also they're not so effective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it is this mind shift that needs to happen, but exactly because of the shared responsibility that is in the cloud, I wouldn't say put your applications and data in cloud and you're super secure.
Yeah.
You are, if you apply all the responsibility on your side. But if you just leave it as it is, things are not going to be done for you automatically.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Just so we're very clear there, exactly that there is the 100% of the security that you can never reach, obviously. But out of that 100%, there is a big chunk that the cloud provider does and is responsible for. And now you are just responsible for a much smaller piece. So you can focus on that because that's your part, but you're not responsible to do everything because you can't. And security is one of the actually most difficult topics. It taps into other important and interesting topics I'm sure we're going to talk about, because it's, cybersecurity, ransomware, Bitcoin, pops up. And it's really, really important. Yeah.
Cool.
So definitely. What else?
We would say like there is business agility, there is security.
Yeah.
Anything else comes to your mind?
Yeah, I think the whole narrative around cost, and there are different aspects there. Maybe if you want to start with some thoughts on that.
Yeah. So I would say what I've seen working with customers is that cost is a strange one. Let's say there is this impression that cloud is cheap because you pay as you go. It doesn't actually need to be. It's not necessarily. So it also depends how you use it. If you misuse it, it can be actually really expensive. But if you use it properly, if you know what you're doing, if you use the right tools for the right job, that can help. When we talk about cost saving, if you lift and shift stuff from on-premise to cloud, you're not really saving much. You're not achieving much. You're making first step into the cloud, and then you can optimize. But when we talk about cost, I wouldn't be the one to say that cost saving is the biggest driver. Maybe cost transparency would be something for me.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely agree. It's definitely the thing you need to achieve first, and what is important. That first of all, you can start quantifying and understanding what you're paying for what. I mean, and it's not just the technology layer, but I think many times, and I'm happy to hear your thoughts on that, but many times organizations don't know what they're paying, what the cost is for their IT, let's call hardware to start with, their IT landscape. And with this, you are paying you're paying for what you're using, and right, like you say, if you're misusing it, well, that would mean you're using too much, or you didn't understand, so you're paying more than what you need to. But also, of course, you're paying. If you take another perspective, obviously, companies like Amazon, Google, and also Microsoft, these are the biggest hardware, let's say, they use the most servers in the world, basically, or some of the companies using the most. That means that they have the biggest purchasing power, basically, and they can negotiate the prices. So there is a massive advantage with economies of scale. But again, like you said, if you're just moving over something, that's a kind of like a one-to-one. That's not the only thing you're saving, but you need to understand that there is a journey and understand where you want to bring your workloads or your organization. What does it look like when you have a tuned down, slim, agile, lean organization, but also architecture?
Yeah, cost transparency in the cloud is very clear. So you know exactly at the end of the month when you receive a bill, you see exactly how much you paid for the services that you consumed in each account. So you can do internal cross-charging. A good question might be is like, do companies and organizations actually want this kind of transparency? I think you might be surprised how many companies don't want to have transparencies and don't want that the shared services department or the CFO office knows how much they're spending for certain application.
Yes.
So it could be a pushback on this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have very strong opinions here, and I fully understand this. And let's say on a small scale of the organization or in this, it makes sense, because you're trying to survive as, how it is. But if you zoom out and if you really have intentions to improve things that matter, so like, let's say, revenue, profits for the company, or even survival for a company, doesn't matter the size, obviously you want to understand what the costs are, because they are kind of like part of your profit or your survival. So that's for sure like such an important thing. So you have a starting point where you can start seeing, okay, knowing what we know now and seeing what we see, what should we be doing now? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So cost transparency, it's definitely one of the big drivers.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So what do we see else?
I see one more, I would say. It's a very interesting one. Maybe people don't often think about this, but if I could put it as a title, it would be like a staff retention and attraction as well. So, I mean, if you're a millennial, if you're just out of university, where are you gonna go, right? Are you gonna go to that 200 years old bank that has a equally old IT stack inside, where people have been working on the same application?
COBOL.
For example, what's that anyway? But for example, would you go there, or would you go to a company that is fully cloud native, that gives you tools to work with and gives you opportunity to work with the latest technology, right? Where you can develop your career, you're excited about what you're doing. So attracting these young talents, it is a very important driver for going into a cloud. Very soon it will be almost impossible for companies to hire new people if you are still on premise dealing with, I don't know, some mainframes and who knows what kind of technologies that have been outdated 10, 15 years ago. Kids want to use new stuff, new technology, new tools, and this is a big driver. This is attraction, but also I mentioned retention. So you want to keep good people, you want to motivate them. One misconception that I hear quite a lot when I start talking to companies who are let's say, still on premise and are thinking about moving to cloud is like, oh, if we move to cloud, we have to get rid of half of our IT department. That might be impression, but in reality, what I've seen is that it is actually opposite. So those companies actually need to start hiring more. Not only that they keep their people, because usually ops guys, infrastructure guys, those are the easiest one to retrain on the cloud, right? Concepts are similar, and they're actually very happy to do so if you give them opportunity. And then when you start releasing much faster, when business sees that the business requests are fulfilled much faster than before, then these requests keep coming and they start accelerating. Yeah. So then actually you realize, oh, I need more people that understand cloud, that can develop in the cloud, and you start even hiring more. So staff retention and attraction of new talents, I think it's a very important driver in the cloud.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I'm just gonna connect it back to the very first one we said, because then you're tapping into the way you describe it. Also, you're getting to the level where you can become much more agile, fast moving, and you can start getting things done and basically delivered. And if you just now think that you have a platform that allows you, done right, and you're understanding what you're doing, you can build that foundation that is very secure. You understand the costs, you can correlate the costs with what you're doing, you have the right talent you can attract, and you can start building business, tests and innovate and build new services in software on top of cloud in order to exactly do like that. You could, start becoming one of the top companies, like, these big companies like Amazon is one of them. It's like a massive company that is very agile, very fast, because it has these independent pieces. So is Tesla, so is Apple, and we can all see where they are in terms, and that's really what it's about. And yeah,
cool. So I think these 4 drivers to the cloud are important ones. Of course, there are many others, I would say, but if we could maybe summarize this 4: business agility, cost transparency, security, staff retention, and attraction of new talents. I think it's something that companies should think about and should be, let's say, the value proposition of the cloud and a selling point why they should go for it.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to talk about all these things in many more episodes, and we're going to come back to these points over and over, because these are the pillars, and that's why we want to start with that. They're so important, and we want to make this also very tangible in every discussion we have, coming to projects we have been in, and again looking from, let's say, failures or things that didn't go how we expected, but also very much looking at the best you can achieve. That's one of the projects where we met, and that was the ambition there, to go the full way, utilizing cloud in the best way possible in order to get all these benefits. And what does that look like? That's what we're gonna want to show you.
Stay tuned, and see you in the next episode.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.
So if this is a relevant topic for your business, just contact us so that we can help you.
If you like what we are doing, please subscribe to our channel and like our videos.
And also, you can give us feedback and also suggestions for topics that you would like us to discuss and go into more detail.
In any case, stay tuned and see you soon.